Hey, Capricorn, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your November 2025 monthly reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the month ahead has in store for you. Now, Capricorn, your 11th house of community, dreams, and future vision is activated this month, which means you are being guided to expand your awareness of how your energy interacts with the larger web of humanity. It's about community, contribution, and visionary thinking, seeing beyond the self to the shared mission. And Scorpio's influence deepens these themes, drawing you toward soul-aligned connections and even transformational group work. Themes that you may notice this month: purpose. You have clarity coming through, and I'm getting a sense of purpose, even revisiting long-term goals and dreams, really clarifying your why. Because community is so strong in your 11th house, you may be guided to strengthen bonds with kindred spirits, with your family, with your soul tribe, or even find a new community or a new soul tribe. Many of you are being guided at this time to work with others to create something meaningful, to create something impactful, or even healing. This could be a healing community. I am getting, for some of you, church or nonprofit or even volunteer work could be calling out to you. You are also being guided to notice where the collective energy uplifts you, Capricorn, and where the community or collective energy drains you. Because some of you may be a part of a dynamic, whether it's with your family, whether it is something that you're already participating in, but it doesn't feel very aligned. It's like you're getting clear about your why, your intentions, your motives, and that is making all the world of difference. Truths are coming to light. There are solutions here after a period of things feeling a bit foggy, and you're moving into breakthrough energy. I love this. Now, this month is reminding you that your legacy grows through your connections and contributions, because when you align with your purpose, when you align with the collective good, the universe is amplifying your vision. And that's where that breakthrough comes in. This is a key theme for you, Capricorn. Realizations are coming through, and the fact that you have clarity and breakthrough tells me this is a big aha month for you. 11 is also a highly spiritual number. New beginnings, leadership, self, courage, and it feels like that's what you're stepping into this month, right? The bigger vision of your life. So there could certainly be victorious moments. There may be advancements this month, epiphanies, moments of truth, bursts of clarity, and it feels like you've been wanting this. You've been asking for this for quite some time. Now, we also have hobby showing up, and this is part of that collaborative effort, working with others. If you have always wanted to learn how to play the piano, perhaps you wanted to take a dance class or a yoga certification course, I feel like this is a month where you're starting to take a look at some of your goals, your long-term visions, and asking yourself, am I on track, or have I put these things to the wayside because I've been too busy? Have I been focusing on what brings me joy, what brings me happiness? This reminds me of the Eight of Pentacles, so this is mastery as well. You may even be taking classes or taking courses here on something that you are curious about, something that you want to learn more about. And I see that this is really a beautiful month to work on side projects here that feel meaningful, that feel impactful, that feel healing. And you are leaning into this with fun, with joy, instead of feeling like you have to do something for the sake of it being a chore. it feels like the opposite here, where you're asking yourself, does this drain me or does this inspire me? And not only are you doing this with, your activities, but I feel like you're also re-examining perhaps your tribe, your community, your relationships, and you're asking yourself, does my tribe fill me up? Or do I feel drained? Are we always focused on their problems or their drama? Or do I feel like I have to take a nap when I get home from visiting this family member? So really taking a look at where your energy is going to be powerful this month. Now you have, excuse me, you have perspective. This is a new point of view showing up for you. And this is also the Hanged Man energy. So by late November, Sagittarius shifts your focus to your 12th house of rest and renewal. And I see that, there's this quiet reflection that's also showing up before your own rebirth cycle begins in Capricorn season. So perspective here is shifting. Many of you are starting to see things from perhaps a higher point of view, maybe even, that big picture thinking type of view, the collective vision, what's good for the highest good of all. And you are gaining clarity. Once again, you have clarity coming through. So you may even be working with a professional, a teacher, a guide, a mentor, a therapist, a coach. You may be working with other individuals because that is a big part of that 11th house energy in order to help you gain a new perspective on one or many areas of your life, which we'll tap into here, all areas. Now, right below perspective, I can't help but notice you have soul tribe. So that flows beautifully into that 11th house energy. There's the like minds, there's the belonging, the shared journey, friendships, family, and connections. And if that has felt like a bit of a tug of war for you, if you have struggled finding friends, keeping friends, or building more intimate bonds with your family, this is a month where this is really getting addressed and you're going to see breakthroughs in this department, in that category. All right. So you have here at the bottom of the tarot deck, you have the Queen of Cups. She is connected to her intuition. The Queen of Cups is often the healer, right? She is the intuitive. She's the psychic. She could be in a caring profession or a caring role. She can be the mother or the caregiver. She is someone who wants to foster connections on a deeper level. And that Scorpio energy that's coming through is helping you get deep, right? So you're really looking at what surface level and what you are utilizing your energy, what you're putting your energy into, or whom you're putting your energy into. So Queen of Cups is saying you're focused on filling your cup at this time, as well as allowing that cup to overflow out into the world. So diving in, you have the World showing up here. Success and accomplishments will soon be yours because you have gained the wisdom, meaning you've learned some very valuable lessons. This is the final in the major arcana, meaning you've gone through the Fool's journey, right? You've gone through the learning, you've gone through the sacred pause, you've gone through the death and the rebirth, you've gone through the devil's energy, the tower, right? You've gone through it all. And I see that this is the end of a major journey for you. And this is also your major arcana, Capricorn. You're connected to the World. And this is about new beginnings. And I see that there's a graduation of sorts. Some of you may even be getting ready to launch your goods, your services, your website, your products. You may be ready to retire. Some of you may be wanting to get married. This is an energy of freedom, of liberation, of travel. So basically the world is your oyster when the World card shows up. So I feel like this is that breakthrough. And you actually see that there's light shining in from the ocean. That's I believe a whale's eye, and whales hold so much wisdom. They are such majestical, magical creatures, and I see that You are and have made a huge splash. Think of whales when they jump up into the, the ocean waters, they come down and that splash is so profound. It creates a ripple effect. And I see that that's what you are being guided to do here, is some sort of offering, some sort of perhaps healing or contributions or connections are creating a ripple effect. And this could even be tied to ancestral energies, your family, your bloodline, your roots, your heritage. Now you also have here temperance. Now temperance is represented here by karma. This is what goes around comes around, but it's also about balance, right? It's about control, self-control, moderation, and allowing yourself the patience and the time to soak up that tender loving care. So this is a month to get honest with yourself. Have you been giving back to you? Have you been giving back to the community? Have you felt like the world around you has been out of your control, where you've been swinging, the temperance scales in some way, where it's felt very imbalanced. And I see that you're getting back to a space where you're feeling more aligned. And for some of you, this has been a long time coming. You've worked really hard to get to this world energy. You've worked really hard to learn some of these valuable lessons, and even to connect to your own intuition, to be able to take care of you. Because Capricorn, sometimes the Queen of Cups, she can be a people pleaser. She can be someone who focuses so much on other people that she forgets to fill her own cup. And I see that that is a lesson that you have been learning and integrating. And now that you've been focusing on filling your cup, it's like there's an overflow and you're able to connect with community. You're ready to share what you've been learning, and your confidence is increasing. Capricorn, you have here the Eight of Wands. Now, the Eight of Wands is fast moving energy. It's the second fastest after the Chariot. So it's about, travel for some of you. It's about communicating what it is that you need. It is progression. And I feel like it is progression through confidence. And you may even be relocating or traveling, because this can be the travel energy. You may be guided to expand your horizons. Think outside the box. Think globally here, because the world is about, big energy. You may even be connecting to the World Wide Web and putting a platform out there into the world, putting your goods and services out there, not dimming your light. Don't hold back, because you have beautiful gifts. And even if you feel like something right now is a hobby, don't be surprised if you are able to generate income from this, or even turn this into a full-time business, if that is something you are wanting to seek. And I see also, if this is a relationship or family, you may be finding a hobby, maybe traveling. You love to travel with your family, and that could be something that really, you really look forward to doing each year, or spending time together during the holidays. There may be a tradition that you do. Maybe you are cooking certain foods, or there's some sort of gift exchange, or you have created some fun games, or, card games or board games around this time that connects you to community, connects you to your tribe. So I see that this is bringing a lot of fun to the mix, but you may also realize that you may have more in common with someone than you think. And this could be someone new coming in, but it could also be someone that, has tested your patience. This may even be a child for some of you, but I see that you are starting to strengthen your confidence. You're starting to feel bolder and more courageous as you open yourself up to the world's offerings. And speaking of world's offerings, we have the Page of Pentacles here. This is about getting honest with yourself. Remember earlier we talked about your why, right? A lot of you are revisiting maybe a long-term goal with that temperance. This could even be a childhood dream or an old vision of yourself. And you're asking yourself, is this still true for me? Is this still something that stirs my heart? Because hobby is powerful. It's something that brings in passion. It brings in this creative side of you, and you may be curious to explore it on a deeper level. If you want to take that dance class, this is the month to say yes. If you've been wanting to go on that wellness retreat or book the trip or take that vacation or reach out to that old friend or whatever it may be for you, get honest with yourself about your why and work with others to help you create this meaningful, impactful energy that you're putting out into the world. I love that for you. Now, Capricorn, we do have the Hermit and the Five of Cups. Yes, there's been disappointment. Yes, there may have been rejection, abandonment, fear of criticism, external validation, all of the things that tend to have us drawing our energy inward. But if we don't learn the lessons of it, which the world tells me you have, it has wisdom right on it. But when we tend to draw back in a way that feels isolating, when we shut down due to disappointment, we miss out on very valuable information, very valuable lessons. And I see that you have integrated through some sort of downtime or alone time. You may have needed to take time out. Maybe you've been single for some time, or you felt like you've lost friends, or there's been family that's no longer here in the physical. And I feel like Spirit is saying, don't let that disappointment, don't let the loss of the past, especially with that temperance here, because it can be when times feel like they're out of control, but it's timing, right? It's divine timing. You may have learned some very valuable karmic lessons in the mix, but I see that Spirit is saying, don't let that past close you down to community or to tribe or to family, because it's opening up here for you. Yeah, it's definitely opening up here for you. Now, let's look at health, energetic health. That could certainly lead to physical manifestations. Now, we're going to look at the major arcanas, and you have 3 powerful major arcanas. We're going to start here with the Hermit. Now, the Hermit can bring in problems with the stomach, potentially the lower stomach, intestines. It can be our elimination organs as well, the gallbladder, the spleen. So if you have been struggling with maybe some intestinal, I'm getting bugs or even parasites. Some of you may be going on a bit of a cleanse, or maybe you've suffered from something that has kept you isolated. Maybe this is halitosis. Maybe this is some form of body odor, or it could even be that, depression has kept you feeling isolated, social anxiety. I feel like you are taking a look at and addressing some of these deeper issues within, so you don't have to live a life of seclusion. Okay, so solitude is coming up for you. Some of you may have even struggled with like incontinence here, or digestion or gut issues. Of course, please seek a medical professional if need be. Now, we have here the temperance energy. Now, temperance energy can be quite powerful because, again, it feels like it's chronic for some of you. So maybe there's like a chronic issue that's been ongoing. This can even be fevers because it's fire energy. So some of you, oh gosh, was there like a house fire or like a burn? Maybe some of you were burned. This could be burned while you were taking out the cookies out of the oven, or maybe you were burned when you went on a camping trip younger, or there was some sort of fire element here. And I also see that, maybe as a child, some of you had a really high fever. This can also rule exotic places because you have the world here. Sometimes this can indicate infections from like a foreign land or a person, but I see that okay, Spirit is giving me the big CO. What's, 2020 energy. We all know what went down in 2020. Maybe there has been some issues or side effects from maybe vaccinations, things of that nature, or something that went down at that time. Now, temperance can also include problems with the hips, the thighs, the sciatic nerve. So again, that first, second, and third chakra are highlighted here for you. And because karma is coming through here, I feel like there's also like genetics, maybe genetics come into play. Now, I feel like you are breaking out of a cycle, or you are healing a part of your bloodline where maybe this issue others have suffered with, but it feels like you are coming up with the solutions. It's like you have clarity. It's like you're ahead of the game, or you may overcome this struggle that maybe other individuals in your bloodline were not able to overcome. I hope that makes sense here. Now, the world can be melancholy about aging or issues with aging, stress from even governmental agencies. We know that there's been shutdowns and there's been a lot going on in the world. So there can certainly be tension and stress and burdens from carrying the world's problems on your shoulders. And this can also contribute to like bones as well, feeling tired, feeling achy. I'm getting calcium as well. Some of you may be taking calcium supplements or taking supplements for bone health. You may be looking at your skin and treating yourself kinder, making sure that you are brushing your teeth and making sure you're washing your face and taking showers and just taking better care of yourself, and through hydration as well with this world card. All right, let's dip into career, finances, money, and wealth. Okay, there we see the no card. So remember earlier I mentioned perhaps some sort of denial, or maybe there's been a level of rejection here. It says perhaps you are insisting that reality be something other than it is. If there has been any sort of refusal, this is the month where you are being guided to open up, even to speak to someone, connect to someone, because it says it's better to live in truth than in a lie. And it says if you've been putting up a false front to make money, it's time to remove that mask. And I see for many of you, as you're starting to stand in your truth, as you're starting to embrace your own authenticity, the direction becomes clear. And if you were denied a position, if you were denied a role, even though that can be disheartening, that can be disappointing and frustrating, it's divine redirection. And that's not always easy to hear, because you're like, Mel, how many times can I be divinely redirected? But you're coming up to closing a very, very powerful chapter of your life, and you are about to embark upon a brand new beginning. So don't deny yourself this opportunity. That's kind of what I'm getting here from this. Don't deny yourself the opportunity to put yourself out there in some way, some meaningful, impactful way. So notice where collective energy is draining you. Are you giving too much attention to the drama that's taking place, in the world or in your workplace? Step out of this energy, because otherwise it kind of sucks you in and it can cause you to feel very disconnected, very isolated. You have life purpose showing up here, Capricorn. You will have new ideas and inspirations that will guide you to your divine calling. What is meant for you will not leave you as long as you continue to move forward. Ask for what you need and things will align for you to carry out your vision. And that's what this month is all about, right? Is your vision, your purpose, and clarifying again your why. Because remember, your legacy is growing through these connections, through these contributions. And I feel like it's connected and tied into, you living and leading through life purpose. Oftentimes we think life purpose is outside of us. We're searching for life purpose. That's a question I hear often. Mel, what is my life purpose? It's about you being in alignment by saying yes to the things that fill your cup, right? The things that help you feel inspired, the energies that uplift you, and saying no to the energy that drains you. That is how we can truly live and lead from our purpose and make choices that can align with our outer world so we feel like we are living on purpose. All right. And lastly, retail. Some of you may be taking a career online. It says saving time and energy, adding passive income, taking your business online. Yeah, we talked about that with the world. This could be e-commerce. You may be selling your goods and services or taking classes. Maybe you are the one that's putting out courses or workshops or seminars. You could even work in real estate. I'm getting like a wellness retreat or connecting with individuals who have had struggles or who have felt isolated, and you're bringing them together. Okay. It's like all walks of life. It's like there's this energy pooling together where you may be taking people from all walks of life and bringing it to one space. Maybe this is through a wellness retreat center. It could be through an online community or a group. It could even be through writing a book or writing a class where it just feels like there's connectivity. There's connection here. If you have an idea in mind, Capricorn, this is giving you the green light that there is a need for it. There's your green light. Ding, ding, ding. If you didn't hear it loud and clear, there's your message. If you have an idea, if you have a hobby, if you have a dream, this is the universe saying, go for it. Meet us halfway, but you have to take the steps. I love this for you. And because we have the world showing up regarding career, a lot of you are reaching this pinnacle of victory, whatever that may be for you. It feels like there's financial freedom here, or there may even be some sort of pay that's coming your way after a period of disappointment. This is confidence growing and building after like feeling like timing was off or feeling like something may have been delayed or feeling isolated here. You're ready to put yourself out there. You're changing your perspective. You're changing your viewpoint. You're starting to see the glass is half full. You're starting to see that there are opportunities and that you're saying yes to living your life on purpose. Now let's look at love, family, relationships. We have memories. This can bring in a bit of nostalgia, especially with kindred spirits showing up, community and family. Now you could be looking at pictures. Oh, okay. Someone has a picture of a loved one. It feels like this could be like an old black and white photo for some of you, but it can be a colored picture as well. But what I'm being shown is a black and white photo. And it feels like someone, could be like a beach day. Maybe someone is in like a swimsuit. I see glasses here, sunglasses next to an old, looks to be like an old Ford truck. Maybe someone has this picture next to a loved one who's no longer here. Or maybe you're just having a walk down memory lane. You're coming across some old poems that you've written in your younger years, or maybe even looking into old journals. There is a hint of nostalgia. Now, of course, as we move into the holiday season, sometimes this can be very difficult, very challenging for someone who has lost loved ones. And I see that you may receive a sign from a loved one in spirit. You are absolutely going to receive a sign that lets you know clear as day that they are with you. You're going to know whether it's through, the flickering of lights, whether it's through a hummingbird, it could be a cardinal, whatever your sign is that you may already have connected to their energy, or this could even be a new sign where they come through your dreams. So pay attention, but you're also being guided here to make new memories, new traditions, new soul tribe is entering into your life. You have love here. Unconditional love. Oftentimes I've heard that unconditional love is reserved for pets and babies, but unconditional love is us tapping into the cosmic heart. And many of you have been focusing on self-love for quite some time, where you wouldn't mind some affection and attraction, especially being returned. And this is a selflessness type of vibe. This is a love for what you do. It's a love for your friends. It's a love for your family. It's a love for your partners. So I see that there is this self-love that is flowing out into your outer world. And that's where it's at here, right? That's that wholeness. So you're feeling fulfilled, especially with the world coming through here. And lastly, we have sunglasses. This is watching, it's looking, it's stalking, it's perception, which you do have perspective here at the bottom of the deck. Because memories is here, for those of you that feel like you have been missing out, or maybe there's someone in your past that's no longer in your present and you've doubted or you've second guessed thinking, did I do the right thing? Sometimes we walk back into romanticizing the past here. But I see that, everything happens for a reason. And if some cycle ended for you, you're meant to move away from that because you have new tribe, new people to meet, new experiences to explore, new adventures to take. And Spirit doesn't want you to focus so long on the past that you lose sight on what's right in front of you. And also, if you are living and leading your best life, you could have people who are noticing and recognizing. Maybe these are people from the past, but they may not be saying anything, but they may be wondering if you were the one that got away. All right, that's what I'm getting here for some of you. Now, Capricorn, it says the dreamer inside of you will teach you everything. This is a message from your higher self. You are here to discover your purpose and set yourself free. We just talked about that. You were made to feel what it feels like to soar with the eagles high in the sky. Visualize your dream. Be as clear as you can. There's that clarity. Imagine every detail, every feeling. Imagine it fully in your mind until you can actually feel it as if it were already real now. Your mantra: when I tap into the feeling of my dream, I can experience it as if it were real. Tapping into the feeling brings me closer and closer to my dream. Because when we tap into it, we can start to consciously make choices and action steps that get us closer to our dream. And lastly, you have the Judge. This reminds me of the Judgment card in tarot, but let's take a look at what this means for you. All right, Capricorn, the Judge is the critic, the diplomat, the advocate. The Judge has an incredibly important job. They work every waking hour of every day, helping us discern what is safe, true, and just. When this archetype remains unconscious or is captivated by fear, wise discernment turns into painful judgment of self and other. Ironically, the Judge's energy can be the seed of racism, bigotry, and fear-mongering. This is the Judge out of balance, building walls, separating from other. When the same discerning force is made conscious and healed, however, the Judge may be found advocating for civil rights causes, standing up for the underdog, providing resources for those in need, and forgiving again and again. Love is the deciding factor. Awakening this archetype is essential for the complex times we are in. Get your Judge in order. The world needs it. Ooh, I have goosebumps. I feel like that is beneficial for each and every one of us. When it's showing up as the light aspect, which it is, because we have the breakthrough, we have the clarity. It's about discernment, advocacy, right action, and compassion. When it's showing up as the dark, it's critical, punishing, unforgiving, and wall building. The Judge's energy is contagious. When we feel judged, walls go up all around. Similarly, when we feel accepted, the entire world softens. Gandhi had an incredibly illuminated inner judge. He actually was a lawyer. He practiced silence one day a week in order to hone his discernment while on his revolutionary path. Powerful energy here. Capricorn, if you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.